So, a little update video. I guess this is a rambling video a bit. I'm talking about the nose. I'm talking about my other upcoming surgery. I'm not sure if I really even mentioned it here. I'm in a bad headspace right now. I've been in a pretty bad headspace for a while. I've been dealing with a lot of pain since the injury in my nose, and I'm going to get into like all that, I guess. I just don't have the energy to like even reply or respond to people anymore. I just don't have the headspace for it. I'm in a bit of a stir. I'm used to the process of like getting this surgery originally was like so depressing. I originally switched my insurance years ago to get this surgery locally. And I was told, oh, it's going to be like 18 months away before the consultation or whatever. So I thought, like, oh, I go to the consultation maybe like 3 or 4 months away. I get to get surgery. So I get to the consultation. I don't even have my insurance switched yet. And they're just like, yeah. So now the waiting starts. Like, they really only came in for like a minute. And we're just kind of like, oh, we could give you like more of a slope on your nose. We could, you know, kind of went over a couple things that they could potentially do. And I was on board with it. I was ready to go. I was like, yeah, let's schedule this, right? So I switched my insurance. I switched my insurance to city insurance, and currently I live an hour away from the city. Since I'm disabled on Social Security income, I have to, you know, be poor. I'm not allowed to like save up enough money, nor can I like work. So I just have to kind of maintain my security net. I can work, but then it becomes more of a headache and more pain and cause more stress and discomfort in my life to work. And that's crazy because like I enjoyed working when I worked, but my body kind of, only works so well. I have, ankylosing spondylitis. I have like imaging coming back of like new and worsening arthritic stuff in my neck and everything recently. It's just been an ongoing battle that I've been dealing with. And thankfully, we have defunded like medical research in the United States. We're taking that money and we're using it for AI data center bailouts. So, yay, yippee, awesome. America number one, we're the best. Um, so currently, since like, this whole process started, it was like, okay, so now we're going to schedule you for surgery. Your number, like, whatever on the waiting list. We do one surgery a month, and you're how far out on the waiting list? And I thought it was like 32 or something, but I called in like, I don't know, 6 months later, and it was like, oh yeah, you're number 34 on the list still or something. I'm like, what? So like, I felt like I kept getting pushed back. I wasn't really sure. It affected my mental health really bad because it's like I could have gotten this surgery done at a point in my life where like I could have lived my life. And I've gone over that a few times on the channel. It's like before my health deteriorated in such a way. So it's been a really hard headspace to be this alone and going through this. Um, but yeah, so I talked to my doctor at the beginning of 2025. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to just smash my head against the wall and break my nose to get the surgery done sooner. And they're like, don't do that. But like, that's the level of insanity I was dealing with that. It's like the dysphoria is very real. It is medically necessary for somebody like me, especially when I was on hormones for 2 years, off hormones for 2 years, and back on. And during that time that I was off hormones was when I noticed like the changes in my face that made me so dysphoric. So to see like a bunch of girls that are on hormones for like a year and a half, getting their faces done, getting other surgeries, it's just like really taxing whenever you're on this enormous waiting list. And it wasn't something that was prioritized. They don't prioritize people like that. And I just knowing like, oh, hey, yeah, my cousin that just started hormones like not so long ago is getting their surgery with the same surgeon. And it's like just out of nowhere, you know? I know people are going to come at me sideways in the comments for that too. It's really funny. I guess you haven't lived my life. I guess you wouldn't understand if you haven't been on hormones for this long and like the waiting and the suffering and the just the depression that it causes to have lost your ability to pass, like seemingly overnight, not overnight, but over the course of a few years and changes happening, right? So it ended up becoming this thing that like my doctor wanted me to go out of state. So that's what we did. That's what we planned to do. And when I talked to the therapist to get like the therapy letter to get in the surgery, they said that I was too immature to get surgery and that I should never get surgery, kind of thing. And it was because I was reacting a little bit, over the top. I didn't think it was that serious of a thing to get this approved. She was like, "Oh, and I want to get it approved for you." But like I called back to say like I was sorry for like being so on edge with her. And I was just saying like some off the cuff stuff because a bunch of people were celebrating a trans woman being murdered on Facebook and laugh reacting and just thinking like, wow, in this timeline, if I were murdered, people would celebrate this. So like, yeah, it was really kind of like an insanity time. It was during the start of this administration. And so yeah, it's just been like a horrible experience to know that like all of these other girls at my doctor's office started getting their referrals sent to the surgeon out of state because of like a process that I started, and then also me getting held back because of that, and then finding out that I'm behind all of these other girls now. So it took extra amount of time to get into the surgeon and get that done. But because like holidays are coming up and because of breaks and stuff, and because the surgery scheduler went on a vacation for how long and all this, I kept getting postponed and postponed. And like everyone was like, no, this is going to be a couple months. You're going to be done with it. It ended up taking way longer. It took over a year. It took about a year since I started the process, and it was supposed to be like a 3-month process. Everything has taken longer than it was supposed to. Everything that I've been told is just like promises that aren't real. Like everything that I'm just living on like false hopes. So even after getting my referral sent to the surgeon out of state, I was denied. Nobody else was denied, but I was denied. And then I had to appeal it. And then I appealed it, and then there's another like odd denial. And I just kept facing denial after denial, and nobody else had this issue. Everybody else just kind of went in, got it done. It was smooth. It seemed like, So we got the nose injury 4.5 months out from surgery, and I'm dealing with constant clicking. It feels like when you have like bubbly saliva and it's making little poppy noises. That's what it's doing like over in this area. My nose does seem like it's going more this direction since the injury. So I try to keep my head tilted when I'm on camera. It's really disheartening and depressing. And even last night, laying in bed, moving my head, left to right, I could move my head that direction, and 12 times in a row, I get this big pop. I'm dealing with constant burning with the nose. I'm dealing with pressure changes whenever there's rain outside. The air, this nostril closes 100% of the time before the other nostril. I have like a resistance with the air flow that I get on that side sometimes. And it puts me in like an absolutely terrible headspace because of how difficult and how much effort I put into this surgery and my recovery. And I really made sure to make sure that my recovery was smooth, making sure to hit protein goals, like 60, 70 grams of protein every day before surgery, avoiding carbohydrates, anything that could cause inflammation. As I'm talking, every time I stop a sentence, I'm hearing like a little kind of noise. I have to like edit my videos on certain days whenever the popping's super loud, and I just have to edit pops out of my videos when I make videos. So I've been like not in the headspace to want to make videos. And so I'm at the point where I'm trying to figure out what to do next. I went to the ER with this injury 3 times. The first time they said, "Oh, give it a week. You have a fracture. We can't tell. It's age intermittent. age intermittent kind of thing if it's like new or an old fracture. The second time I went back, like 3 weeks later, they're like, "You're healed. No, you're healed. Everything's good. No, everything's fine." The third time I went back was because like I had nasal regurgitation and a massive chunk of fry went into my mouth. I wasn't sticking fries in my nose like everybody seems to think when I'm talking about this. Um, I was eating and it went into my nose and then it was stuck in my nose. And I had to like hold on this nostril and exhale. And I thought I got it out. I got a chunk of fry out, but then I did it again and a massive chunk of fry came out. So it's like I was having like severe nasal regurgitation kind of thing. And so I haven't really felt like I've been being taken seriously super much with this injury. I'm worried about coverage and stuff with everything. I'm worried about like the whole getting out there again. I'm worried about being on Social Security and being able to afford to make this type of trip again. Given that it's like a whole thing. If I have to go out to see the surgeon again, I already went to see the surgeon after the first ER visit. I took a CT disc from the ER and I gave it to the surgeon, and the disc was blank, so she couldn't confirm if the injury was new or not. And she could have done and like scheduled a revisionary surgery like right then and there. But if you don't do it then you kind of have to wait like a year. So it's like if they messed up the imaging, I'm thinking of suing them because I don't know what else to do because I'm living in constant pain right now when I did every step that I needed to do. But realistically, is that even like a real option? Probably not. I'm too poor to actually sue them, right? It's just like the neglect of care and the way that things go. I switched my insurance how long ago to get the surgery with this surgeon locally. I don't live in the city, so I have to travel to the city to get stuff covered. Like if I'm going to go to a doctor, I have to travel more out toward the city. And as far as like affordable housing, since I'm, Social Security income and disabled type stuff, it's like I got on like an affordable housing list years ago. And I was told like, hey, yeah, maybe like in a year and a half, you'll be able to get into like housing out here. And then I checked in on that last year and they're like, oh yeah, no, that would happen in like 2028, 2029. So I'm living on false hopes. Everything has been false hopes. I'm waiting for like a miracle cure for a disability that isn't going to happen in the States anytime soon. There's like new groundbreaking treatments and whatever in other countries that aren't, but it's not like cures. Nothing that definitively solves the issue, but can maybe make life livable, I guess. It's really painful to be me. So now I have this constant popping. This pressure change in my nose. Like I still, just as I'm talking, it's just like I keep hearing extra noise. It's really hard to maintain like my thoughts and not get like emotional because it's like every time I, start talking and stuff, I start thinking like, hey, if I didn't get injured, it wouldn't be as big of an issue. It wouldn't have become this type of issue. So there's that. I'm dealing with a lot with this. Like the headspace is horrible because it's like, even if I go back out to this surgeon that I initially got the surgery with, that's what my insurance company wants me to do. How many more denial letters do I get? Is it going to be covered? People are telling me that this isn't covered anymore in like Ohio. So like, I don't know, through my insurance. I don't believe them, but I don't really know for sure. I don't know how difficult this is going to be. How hard is it to get rescheduled? Do I have to actually wait until January to then get scheduled 4 or 5 months later to get a revisionary surgery? Is that going to even solve the issue? Do they even feel that this is necessary to do a revisionary on? That's what I'm worried about. Like, do I have to live with this for the rest of my life because I had an injury and I don't have the money to just go somewhere and get it done? Going with the initial surgeon that did the surgery is like the ideal pathing for this. So I'm dealing with a lot here. And like, I can already see the people in the comments going, this is what you get for going against God's will or whatever. Like, fuck you. People do this stuff all the time and have no issues. I'm just cursed, I guess. So I went to a local surgeon, again, the same surgeon that I was going to get the everything done, and we were going to do the tracheal shave, fat injections, like fat grafting, and a lip lift, but I put that off. And I put that off because I wanted to give my nose more time to see, like, oh, hey, how does my nose look without getting this other extra procedures? I wanted to try to be a minimalist about this. And before the injury, I felt like I was passing a lot better in public. Like, I didn't have anybody really like misgender me kind of thing, like at all. I wasn't putting in like hardly any effort. At this point, that doesn't even really happen anymore. At this point, it's just like I get surd again a lot. And so I don't know if it's just because my confidence is totally shot since the injury, because I'm so much in my head about this that I can't even live my life anymore. I was already really kind of depressed about like the whole process of getting the surgery done originally and just all the extra steps. So now I'm just like in this horrible headspace, and I think this may be the most depressed I've ever been in my life because I had it done, I ruined it, I need it done again, and I don't know if I can get it done again. I don't know if I need it done again. I don't know if it's going to heal. I don't think it's going to heal. It's been 10 weeks since the injury, and I'm still dealing with a lot of extra noises. ER 3 times, went back to the surgeon, went to an ENT twice. The first time they just looked at my nose. They're like, I don't see anything. Like, come back if you want me to do a scope. I'm like, I kind of want you to do a scope. And they're just like, yeah, come back if you want me to do a scope. I went back. I had them do a scope. They were like, I don't see anything. Are you going to go see the surgeon that you had surgery with again? I did a consultation with the surgeon that was going to do the lip lift. This hurts so bad. This is like a ongoing thing. It's really hard to want to like make videos, and yeah, but yes. And then I did a video consultation with the surgeon that was going to do the lip lift, the tracheal shave, and the fat grafts, and I did a video consultation for this one. So they said, they don't think that I need revisionary surgery from the symptoms that I gave them, but like maybe I didn't list enough of like what I was dealing with. And that they do revisionaries, but like the insurance company wants me to go back with the initial surgeon that did the original surgery. So it becomes this headache because like, what if they want a CT right then and there when I'm out there in Cleveland? Then that becomes an enormous headache because I'm going to get billed again. I got billed like $834 for blood work when I initially went out there because she was like, oh yeah, just go downstairs, get the blood work done. And I had to fight that for months before they expunged it off my record. They wouldn't continue care until I paid that. So I had to like fight to get that removed. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with right now. It's a lot to like be in the headspace of like, hey, I'm too poor to eat real food, so I'm gaining a lot of weight. And if I do eat real food, it probably has cyclospora or something in it. All the food in America is just poison. We still haven't gotten rid of the red dye 40, by the way. It's all just a big ruse. So many distractions. I love that I'm the scapegoat, and I love that like I'm being treated so like subhuman online. In the real world, I don't know, people just still seem like wildly interested in me. But it's a lot going on. So with this current surgery coming up, I was scheduled September 1st again for the lip lift, tracheal shave, fat grafting. I've been telling people like, hey, I have this surgery coming up. And even with everything going on with the nose, I'm a little bit on edge. I'm a little bit concerned because a lip lift puts a lot of pressure in this area, but it would give me more volume to my lips. I don't want like Mar-a-Lago face, but at the same time, I've seen other girls get lip lifts with decent results. It typically does cause a scar in this area, but it's usually not that noticeable. So I get a call from the insurance company a few days ago, and they do not want to approve the lip lift, which is kind of whatever in a way for me in one way. But at the same time, if I don't do the fat grafting and the lip lift with the surgery, they're going to want to do they're not going to want to put me to sleep. It's going to be like when women get C-sections. I'd be awake when they slit my throat open and shave down my Adam's apple that so many people in Omegle seem to have such a problem with. When people in Omegle have a problem with it, though, it makes me concerned that people in real life will like identify that as a thing for me and potentially jeopardize my safety. So regardless, I want to get that done. But I figured like if I'm going to be getting surgery, I might as well get surgery. I might as well book the 2.5-hour surgery, get put to sleep, actually get something a little bit more done. The tracheal shave was approved. The fat graft was approved, but I was told that the lip lift was denied, and it was denied because it's not medically necessary and it is cosmetic. So I called their office because I switched my insurance years ago for them to do this procedure, and it has taken years and years for them to do this procedure locally. This is how easy it is to get transgender surgeries, by the way. And so the receptionist said that she does not understand why the lip lift was denied because she has never had a problem with this before. She has always gotten this approved. The codes have never come back not approved for her even. So there hasn't been a rule change in my insurance company since March of this year. Even in that rule change, going back and reading into this, because like what else am I going to do with my free time, right? And just breaking it down. And I don't see any sort of change to like, hey, a lip lift was covered before and now it's not. So there's the option is the doctor does a peer-to-peer surgery would be in like 18 days from now or less at this point. It's August 15th today. And so the options are like the surgeon does a peer-to-peer and then this gets approved, or the surgeon does a peer-to-peer and this gets denied. And if it's denied, I have to pay out of pocket, and I have to pay it up front. And it could be $3,000, it could be $6,000. I don't know. On Social Security, you're not allowed to make more. You're not allowed to have like money. You're not allowed to like have resources, so I don't have anything. So like it's just out of the question at that point. And then the fat grafting, if I did that, they wanted to do it when they do the lip lift, like add volume kind of thing. It's deemed as like cosmetic, but also not medically necessary. So like maybe because it's not medically necessary, it could be argued in a peer-to-peer to be covered. But I just don't understand why every other person has it so much easier to get these procedures than I do. I'm doing every step as I am supposed to. The mental toll to hear that this is covered for literally everyone else, but not you. After I did how long with the previous thing, trying to go out of network and being denied and denied and denied, and nobody else was getting these denials. My doctor's office confirmed like nobody else is getting these denials. Why? Life isn't fair. We all fight our own battles. But like I also deal with the same stigma and issues that other trans people do. I don't know why I'm getting like these extra denials and these extra steps and layers added to all of this when I've already planned around it. I've already had somebody that's willing to like take me into surgery, somebody that's already willing to take me into the follow-up a week later to get the stitches removed because there's going to be stitches. I just don't, I just don't have a good headspace right now. This is, I think, the most depressed I've ever been. And so it's like really hard to like want to make videos anymore when I have to constantly edit out like popping and clicking in the nose. And I don't know what's going on with that yet. I don't know exactly what's going on. I can only search online so much. It's like it could be a mucus buildup. It could be like scar tissue. Well, the ENT ruled that out. So it could be like cartilage or a nasal valve collapse or like potentially like sewing back on something to like reconnect my nose because like the impact was kind of hard. I feel like the doctors don't take it as seriously because it was a frisbee kind of thing, but the impact was pretty hard. I mean, so I'm just like, I'm a little bit exhausted with everything, even with like the support group that I have. I just don't have the energy or effort left in me to like respond to anybody. I'm just in a really bad headspace. So like if I wanted to go on social media, like talk to my people, right? I have to go through like 6 things of like Royce White with a wig on being like, I'm in my feminine era. I can't even like engage in social media without like causing more of a toll to me. Just seeing like other people being like, oh, trans women don't exist because you're a man and you've always been a man, so how could you feel like a woman? Shit like that. It's really hard. It's really hard to have gone through this past year and a half. If anybody ever does some sort of like lawsuit against like this administration or whatever, like my mental health has been heavily impacted. My decision making has been rushed. And I've just, I don't know, like, at what point do I like totally snap with this? I'm trying to be strong with this stuff, I'm like dealing with a lot. I'm dealing with a lot. And now that I have like, if I move my facial muscles a certain way, sometimes I'll get like a hard thunk noise in my nose. I've had a few different like ongoing issues with that. So like I said, the lip lift might be not the best idea until we fully know exactly what's going on with the nose, but I did discuss it with the surgeon that I was initially going to get upper FFS with. Then they don't seem that all that concerned with like the issue of what's going on with the nose as far as it impacting this other surgery. So as of right now, I'm just sitting through the weekend waiting to hear back if this peer-to-peer comes back, that this is covered, or if it's not. And if it's not, I don't know like how I can take that. It's not necessarily because I needed the lip lift. It's that like I have to be awake during the tracheal shave. The tracheal shave has been a big thing for me. It was literally get upper FFS and a tracheal shave, and I was pretty content. But yeah, the lip lift would be nice. The fat grafts would be nice if it makes me a little bit more passable. Anything that like preserve my sanity in public, anything to like quiet down the internal dialogue of like, hey, you don't pass. Hey, you're in danger right now when you're in public. So yeah, I mean, I'm just like waiting. I'm just waiting some more. And I just hear these noises, and it's like the arthritis in my neck that I hear on this side. The pressure changes, rolling over at night, the constant pain with that. And just wondering, like, how long is it going to take? And if that imaging on that disc could have proved to my surgeon that I needed surgery sooner, this could have all been, like, avoided. This ongoing, like, issue, at least for some time. It still feels like I have, like, saliva, like really poppy saliva, right? In this area. Not real saliva, but it just sounds like a lot of little poppies and whatever. And if I inhale any more than that, if I go any beyond that, I can get like a bigger, like, pop noise, I guess. So yeah, a little bit beside myself with stuff. But I mean, that's kind of like a part of the trans experience, is just to be lonely and in your head a lot, or to be, in multiple relationships and have like multiple partners reassuring you that things are going to be okay. Or like trying to go on social media and have people say things will get better, things turn around. But like they don't know my life, and they don't know that like my spine, after being diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, it's typically 5 years before you have irreversible spine binding. So like I'm running out of time to like get these surgeries before my spine binds. If I want to start an immunosuppressant, I don't know how I'm going to stay alive in this country anymore, especially with diseases being rampant. We've made sure that like we're trying to bring back like ancient diseases by getting rid of vaccines and stuff. I get, oh, haha, vaccines, whatever, and you think you're like edgy or whatever, but like science. It's a really hard position to be in, to make decisions. And so I just kind of continue to do nothing with my life. And that's why I made the YouTube channel. At the same time, this too could jeopardize my insurance if I get a little bit too big on YouTube too soon. So that's concerning. Because if I need to get this revisionary surgery in the future, and I need coverage in 8 months, but somehow, some way, my YouTube starts making too much money, then I lose my insurance coverage. And so I have to pay out of pocket for a revisionary surgery. It's a hard headspace to be in right now. I can't get myself to like do much more than just lay in bed. There's like hours that I'm actually just like zoning in on other things, and like I'm just wondering, do I take antidepressants? I feel like that's such a like not what I need to do. I just need to like exercise and eat right, but like I just feel like I'm being destroyed at this point. I feel like I've gone through like too much with all of this. And I understand like most people don't care. I understand most people that transition and have only been on hormones for a few years don't understand my headspace, but I've been doing this for so long and getting like so little out of it, not being able to live my life, dealing with people that have been nothing but toxic, not being able to like be independent enough to take care and resolve those issues. The problem with being intelligent is it's painful. And add that on to all the other actual pains that I'm having, right? So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a little update video to be like, hey, the lip lift was, or the lip lift was. Ultimately, it's hardly even about the lip lift. It's just the exclusion and feeling like, why do I continue to face like extra resistance? Part of it is, just wanting to be safe and sane and live my life, but like, how much longer do I have to actually make something meaningful out of my life? That's my headspace.